Hello, welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the flitch beam. So basically, we will be uh, analyzing the flitch beam, and this is the content that we are going to cover in this lecture. So first, we will get introduced with the flitch beam, and then we will see what are the different types of flitch beam and how to calculate the moment of resistance of flitch beam, and then we will have an analytical problem to understand how we can analyze the flitch beam. So understanding the flitch beam, what is flitch beam? So basically in the previous lecture, we have designed the timber beam, and timber beam basically have a definite moment of resistance, which means a particular timber beam can carry only a limited load. So for example, if we have to enhance the load carrying capacity of timber beam, in that case, what we do is we add some plates, some steel plates to enhance the load carrying capacity of the beam. And this beam, which is with the steel plates, is actually known as flitch beam. And uh, generally, this flitch beam is also known as composite beams. So composite beams are the beams which are composed of two or more than two materials. So in our case, flitch beam has two different material. One is the timber and the second one is the steel plates. So that is the flitch beam. So you can see here we have different configuration of the flitch beam. So we can add plate in different manner. So here this is the solid wood beam which we have designed in the previous lecture to enhance the load carrying capacity of the timber beam. Sometimes what we do is we add some steel plates. We add them with the help of bolting. Beside this flitch beam, we have other type of beam also, like we have steel beams also. Sometimes we use glue laminated beams. So in this case, we have the laminates which have better property as compared to the normal timber beam. So here we are mainly will be focused on the flitch beam. So based on the different position of the steel plates, we can have different types of flitch beam. So these flitch beams have more load carrying capacity than the pure timber beams. As I said, that we generally add them to enhance the load carrying capacity. And therefore, as the load carrying capacity is higher, so we can use them for larger spans also, where there will be heavy loads. So types of flitch beams are basically depending on the position of the steel plates. So for example, in this first type of flitch beam, we have the steel plates on the sides. When we provide steel plates on the side, so this becomes one of the configuration of the flitch beam, and in between there is this timber. So these are the symbols of the timber beam. Similarly, if we add steel plates on top and bottom. Similarly, the third case can be we have two timber beams, and in between there is a steel plates. So that is the third type of configuration. Similarly, uh, we can have plates on the bottom side only to enhance the tension strength of the beam, or sometimes steel sections are also added to enhance the load carrying capacity of the flitch beam. So these cases, this one, and this one, and this one, these are very common in the flitch beam design. Now we will see how do we find out moment of resistance of these flitch beam, because flitch beam are basically composed of two different material, so their failure pattern may be different. But here we have a common assumption, so that we will see. So we will see how do we calculate moment of resistance for different types of beam. So if we have flitch beam in which steel plates are fixed to the sides that we have seen in the previous slide. So in case if we have to find out moment of resistance of this beam, how do we find out that? So before we find out, we generally adopt a assumption, and the assumption is that steel plates and timber will strain together. So that is the common assumption that we generally take to design this flitch beam. Now, what is the meaning of this? It means steel and timber both will fail at the same time. So when the failure occurs, both the material will fail at the same time. It means the strain, as we know, strain is a measure of deformation. So strain in steel and strain in timber will be same. So we know that with the stress strain relation, that strain can be calculated as stress by Young's modulus of elasticity. So FB by E of steel will be equals to FB by E of the timber. So as we know that E is stress by strain. So with this relation, we can have the strain in terms of stress and modulus of elasticity. And here, because we are talking about the moment of resistance, so we are actually be concerning on the bending. So therefore, this F will be the bending stress. So with this assumption, we can calculate the moment of resistance also. So here also, if both of these strains are equal, so if we know three values, we can find out fourth value. For example, if we have to find out bending stress in the timber, if we know the value of bending stress in steel, Young's modulus of elasticity of the steel and Young's modulus of elasticity of the timber, we can easily find out the bending stress in the timber with the relation. So now how do we find out moment of resistance? Moment of resistance in this case will actually be the sum of moment of resistance of timber beam and moment of resistance of steel plates. So here this timber beam will have a definite MR, say MR1, and the steel plates that we have added, they will also have some MR. We can name it as MR2. So total moment of resistance of this beam will be the sum of MR1 and MR2. So that is what I have written here, MR of timber beam plus MR of steel beam. Now, how do we find out MR? In this, we can use the bending equation. So with the bending equation, we can write that moment of resistance will be equivalent to F into Z. F is the bending stress, Z is the section modulus. So that is what I have written. So moment of resistance of timber beam will be this FB into Z of timber, and moment of resistance of steel plate will be FB into Z of steel. Now we know that Z is the section modulus, and for rectangular section, say for example, for a rectangular section, if this is B and if this is D, Z value is BD square by 6. So we can replace this Z with the BD square by 6 in case of timber. And if we consider that this is the thickness of the steel plate, similarly, if this is the width of timber and this is the depth of timber, so now we can elaborate the value of Z for steel and timber. So we can write this as FB of steel multiplied by, because there we have two steel plates, so Z will be actually of two plates, so 2 multiplied by T. So here T is replaced, B is replaced by T because here we have the thickness. So TD square by 6 for moment of resistance of steel. Similarly, for timber moment of resistance, it is bending stress of timber multiplied by section modulus of timber section. So that becomes the moment of resistance formula for calculation of such type of flitch beam in which steel plates are fixed on the sides. Similarly, we can have the second type of uh, flitch beam in which steel plates are added on top and bottom. Well, in this case, we can use the same phenomena as we have used in the first case, but here we generally have another phenomena like uh, can we transform this timber into a steel section? Transforming into steel. What does it mean? It means Practically it will be timber, but for the sake of calculation, what we can do is, can we replace this timber with the steel? So this replacement is actually based on the modular ratio. So we know that if this is the timber section, and if we want to replace this with the steel plate, obviously steel plate has high strength per unit weight, so therefore uh, it will be having less cross sectional area as compared to the timber. So for example, if this timber section can take 10 kilonewton load, so for the same load to be taken by steel plate, the cross sectional area will be very less. So this kind of transformation is done based on the ratio, which is called modular ratio. And modular ratio is based on the Young's modulus of elasticity, or in other words, I would say modular ratio is basically the ratio of stiffness of the material. So in this case, for example, uh, if this is the timber section and if it has this width, say B, so we actually will be required to find out the thickness. What will be the thickness of this plate so that it can replace this timber section? So this thickness is dependent on the modular ratio, and modular ratio is basically the ratio of uh, Young's modulus of elasticity of steel to Young's modulus of elasticity of timber. So therefore, we can easily calculate this as T1 is equals to B by M. So as you see, T1 is basically the fraction of B. So that is why I have divided this value M. If if we have to convert vice versa, if we have the steel plate and if we want to convert this steel plate into timber, so in that case I would have to calculate B value. If T1 value is given, then B value can be calculated as T1 into M. So vice versa can be done in the same manner. So this process is called transformation of the section. So here what we will do is we will assume that this timber is replaced by the steel plate. Original section will be there, but for the sake of calculation, we will assume that we have this steel plate, we have steel plate at the bottom, and in between the timber is replaced by the steel plate having the thickness of T1, and this T1 thickness is basically B by M, and B is the width of this timber. So therefore now as you can see, uh, we now have whole this steel plate. Now we have replaced this timber with the steel, so the whole beam becomes of steel. So therefore in this case moment of resistance will be FB steel into section modulus of steel. So in this case, how do we find out section modulus? So that we will see. So you can see here, this is the transformed steel beam. So we have just replaced this whole timber into a plate of thickness T1. So therefore, we now have this hatched part actually. And to find out Z of this hatched part, how can we find out that? So we can simply say Z is basically the formula of I by Y. I is the moment of inertia and Y is the distance from neutral axis to the topmost or lowermost fiber. So for example, if neutral axis is here, so Y value, what will be the value of Y? Y value will be D by 2 plus T. So that is our Y value. Similarly, if we want to find out I value, how do we find out I? In that case, for example, if we have this I section, how can we find out I about the neutral axis. Can we imagine that this as a rectangular section? So I and say this is as uh, say this is the D and this is the T. This value is T. So moment of resistance of the whole rectangle, it will be B D plus 2T cube by 12 minus moment of resistance of this part and moment of resistance of this part. This is how we can find out moment of resistance of the I section. So this will be B, actually B minus T1 actually. So because this will be T1 thickness, this one. So this becomes B into, sorry, B minus T1 into D cube by 12. So this becomes the formula of moment of inertia of this I section. And we know the value of Y. We can simply calculate the value of Z and have the formula for moment of resistance of the transformed section. So I have already provided the formula. So that is our formula. So in this case, FB is the uh, bending stress of the steel, because I have converted this timber into steel form. This is only for the calculation purpose. In actual, it will be in the form of timber. So here it is bending stress of the steel, and this is the section modulus of the rectangular section. B, again I am showing you, like if this is the rectangular section and we have actually converted, I mean our section was of I, but we have deducted this part. So section modulus of rectangular part, say this is B, T, D and T. So this becomes B D square. So B and D is basically D plus 2T. So D plus 2T square by 6. So this is the section modulus of the whole rectangle minus section modulus of the hedged part. This value is T1. So this becomes B minus T. So this width plus this width, this will be B minus T1 into D square divided by 6. So this is how we calculate the moment of resistance using this formula. So the formulation is now there to calculate the moment of resistance of the flitch beam having plates on top and bottom. So T1 can be calculated as B into ET by ES, which is B by M, and M is the modular ratio. T1 can also be known as equivalent width of timber in terms of steel. So modular ratio is basically the ratio of ES by ET. ES is the Young's modulus of elasticity of steel. ET is the Young's modulus of elasticity of timber. Similarly, if we have steel plate fixed on the bottom only, so this will also become the case as we have discussed in the previous part. The only difference in the formula will be this one. In the previous formula, we have used D plus 2T because we have plate on the top also. So that is why we were taking T in that case. But here we have only the plate on bottom. So therefore, the case will be same. In this case also, this whole timber can be converted into a steel plate of thickness T1, and T1 can be calculated by using the modular ratio. So the same formula can be used for this, except the value of I mean, in this, there is a small modification in terms of T. So for other configuration, we can use the same phenomena that we have used for the first case. So in the next part, we will solve an analytical problem to understand how we can analyze the flitch beam. Thank you.